or right on 10.
No, two right. Thanks for being on the show, JR, and great. Best of luck in 2013.
Thanks very much for having me.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, I'm going to shoot straight onto Division 4 just before we get Chad Bourke, coach of Glenunga. And who are you tipping?
I tipped Pulteney.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to Pulteney. I thought Ian Perry and a few other guys might actually stand up today and get the job done. So I tipped Pulteney. I think your tip for the medal was Ian Perry. I think this year,
Yep.
Tommy. Yeah, as he shouts out. But I think Golden Grove and Pulteney. It's going to be a close one, but I'm going to go with Pulteney today.
Okay. Next game, Russell.
And the next game is the qualifying final, Scotch versus Salisbury West at Scotch Oval.
Yeah, this would be an interesting one. If you're a Salisbury West player and you listen to this show, you'd be fired up by the fact that we've all thought that Scotch will play in the grand final. And just looking at the tips, I've tipped Scotch, Dave's tipped Scotch, and
I've tipped Scotch.
You've tipped Scotch. So we've all tipped Scotch, as well as Luke Hosey. Now, if Dave was here, he'd probably change his mind, but he's not.
He'd probably read someone else's tips and go with that anyway.
I think Dan Cale, 75 goals for the year, Will Thorpe, 59 goals for the year. These big name forwards in finals are worth their weight in goals. Hugo Twopney has had a very good second half of the season, along with his brother Angus Twopney. Or is it Two Penny? That's not getting old, is it?
Benny Wilson as well.
But yes, it's at the White Picket Fence at Scotch College at 2:15. They are a strong team at home. Salisbury West have got those, half dozen 18 to 21-year-old young midfielders. Scott Burnett has had a sensational year, dark horse for the medal, no doubt. It's just a matter of whether Scotch generally doesn't hold water that well, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't think it'll be a shootout like it has been at times between these two teams. They both scored really well throughout the year. I'm leaning towards Scotch still. I think 12 goals will do it, and if they can get half of those goals from the two big forwards, they should be right.
I reckon, you're looking at blokes like Thorpe's. What's the young fella's name we had in here that you loved?
Dan Cale?
Cale, yes. Those blokes, that was, yes, you did. You couldn't stop looking at his eyes.
It's just the light.
Those blokes, I think they'll stand up. I reckon they'll win by a good 5-6 goals today. Scotch, it doesn't hold the water that well, but it isn't that slope, so hopefully it runs off and the ground's in good nick. But I'm going to go with Scotch today in a easy one.
No worries. Okay, it's time now to introduce our very special guest. He is, of course, the coach of the Glenunga Football Club. He's got a huge game today. It's not his first time on the show. He was a guest last year. Welcome back, Chad Bourke.
Thanks, boys.
I'm annoyed I'm not allowed to speak now. You, mate. Look, he's ripped the mic off it. I tell you what, he's fired up already for today's game. Look, mate, you must be excited. It's finals football. It's Take 2 versus Kenilworth. You knocked them off by 2 points last week. Exciting time for you and your boys.
Yeah, look, it's obviously been a fantastic season for the club. First year up from Division 6, obviously playing Kenilworth in the grand final last year. So just to reiterate what we've gone on throughout the year, we've had a lot of ups and downs. Obviously started the season with a blaze of glory, and like most clubs had a bit of a lean patch in the middle and happened to finish well enough to sneak in and deserve a home final this week.
Beautifully done there, Chad. Now what we're going to do, we'll just get you to pass comment on the results of last round. Having seen all these teams, and now the 5 teams season are over, and none would be more upset than poor West Croydon. 10-8. How many teams this year missed finals with 10-8? You think at 10-8 at the start of the year, you'd lock it in a final spot, wouldn't you?
Definitely. That was the goal. 10 wins generally get you over the line, especially with a percentage plus 50 sort of thing.
So
unless you're Sean Dutchy Holland,
they missed it as well, and as did someone else from that division. But anyway, on to this division. Rosewater 14-12-96, Westminster 12-10-82.
Yeah, fantastic for Rosewater. Obviously, poor Westminster probably thought they were going to finish their year on a high, but to the Rosewater lads, yeah, congratulations. I reckon sticking at your guns and finally getting there in round 18 would have been a big night.
Yeah, well, $25,000, can't lie. West Croydon 19-16-130, North Haven 15-19-109.
Yeah, look, obviously from our point of view, we were hoping North Haven might have got the job done just in case we hadn't done the right thing, but yeah, poor West Croydon, did the right thing and we managed to sneak over the line.
Yep. Fitzroy, your old mob, 8-7-55, Brahma Lodge 18-126, giving Brahma the week off.
Yeah, probably went to standard. Most people would have thought Brahma may have got up by a bit more, but Fitzroy at home always give it a good crack, so yeah, Brahma do deserve the week off.
Hope Valley 10-11, 71. Oh, so close yet so far at home against Adelaide Lutheran 11-12, 78.
Yeah, it's probably a bit of a surprising result. Obviously, the Valleys at home play their deck fairly well, but Lutheran, I think, across the board are a very good side. So Hope Valley, no doubt, will take a bit of confidence from that result last week into this week.
And again, you can tell us a hell of a lot more about, I'm sure, and we ask you to. A game that had 17 goals 40 combined total, so it wasn't the straightest kicking game in the world, but you did enough. You got 9 on ages, 9 goals 18, 72. Kenilworth had 8 goals 22, 70. A 2-point win for Glenunga.
Yeah, obviously a strange old game. No, there was no breeze, obviously it was slippery conditions, the over was a bit wet, but a lot of the scoring was all done at one end, believe it or not. Obviously the first quarter we kicked 3-9 to their 1-3, so some would say we could have buried the game then and there. And
could have
then
iced it.
Second quarter they come out and kicked 1 goal 11 and probably could have got right back into the game. So
1 goal 11. Some gettable ones in the 11?
Oh, definitely guys were missing from 20 out, so as you can imagine the ground underfoot probably was a bit slippery, and obviously with everything on the line, guys probably didn't handle the pressure that great.
No worries. Now let's just talk about some. I want to talk about the medal because we've all been asked to give our medal tips. Jamie Clark Rantassa has 79 goals for Bramah Lodge, but all the talk is that his brother, who runs through the midfield, Jared Rantassa Clark, have to be a huge chance at the medal, and I've tipped him. Do you agree? And who else could be in the mix?
Yeah, look, obviously I think he individually is a very, very good player, very hard to shut down and really impacts the game. He hurts you not directly on the scoreboard, but everything he touches results in a goal. So, yeah, the only danger for him may be that I think Bramah Lodge have a lot of good players that may steal votes from him.
Aloisi.
Yeah, I think Matty Paul's a very good player. He's destroyed us a couple of times.
Is he still playing centre half back?
Yeah, runs just straight lines and destroys you. But yeah, they've just got plenty of options, so that may be his only downfall, that they just steal too many votes from him. But yeah, he's definitely, I think, the best player. And
Sean Buss from Glenunga, one of your boys, kicked 60 for the year. Whereabouts has he been playing?
Yeah, look, Sean, he's had another good year. He plays generally in the midfield 85% of the day and rests forward as he gets tired. So yeah, he'll poll very well. Obviously, we've won 11 games, and every time we've won, he's probably been a catalyst in the win. So expect him to poll well.
What about Russell Hart's boyfriend, Blake Moser from Kenilworth? Who does he go?
Look, Blakey's obviously a massive component of their team, and generally a bit like Sean Buss for us. When they win, he seems to be the catalyst. So they've won their 10 games, and I dare say Blakey will probably get 6 or 8 games where he'll poll.
Anyone else we haven't mentioned, even maybe from the bottom half of the...
What about Ty Allen from Lutheran?
Yeah, look, I rate Ty very highly as well. He's probably one of 2 guys in the competition we tend to tag when we play against, purely because he tends to feed their outside players, so you cut that off. But yeah, he generally affects the game. I think probably the most influential player, whether again he does it against other teams, against us both times, has probably been the Hope Valley captain, Lee Duggan. We tagged him the second time, and he just does inspirational stuff that to me stands out, that the umpires are going to notice week in, week out.
Yeah. Russell, normally you've got an absolute plethora of questions. What do you got for the great man here?
I was just, I actually spoke to Bourke outside, and I was asking him who he's going to play on Blake Moser today, and I'm sure he probably won't say it on air, but I think he played on him last week, so should be. I reckon this will be a great game today. I wish I could go out and watch it.
And is there a question in any way?
No, I just...
I've got a question there. How is it, I mean, where was it last week? It was at Glenunga, so it's 2 weeks in a row, same venue, same team. How do you think this will affect the game?
Completely different game, obviously, start from scratch. Last week they were playing for 3rd spot, we were playing for a spot in the finals. Today they'll come with a different attitude because it's do or die for both sides today, where last week we were the only ones with a do or die attitude. So yeah, it'll be game on, and hopefully we can do the right thing, and 4:30 we happen to have our noses in front, is all I can say. I actually
do have a question. I heard a rumour that Kenilworth were trying to change the ground. Do you know, is this true?
Look, don't know if it came from Kenilworth, but we did have some amateur league officials rock up at about 6:30 checking the surface Thursday night, so it didn't come from us, so put 2 and 2 together, boys.
Came from Kenilworth. Interesting. Again, we talk about the massive advantage playing at Kenilworth is, but the dimensions of your rival, Webb Oval, and St Mary's, not that dissimilar, are they? You've got a big Big oval, haven't you?
No, not really.
Quite the opposite. Our oval's probably about half the size of Kenilworth. And
I played on your oval this year and I struggled to run around it.
That might not say too much.
But you've got wide flanks, haven't you?
Yeah, but from obviously goalpost to goalpost is very short, where theirs is probably another 40 metres longer.
40 metres, is that right?
Yeah, it's you can kick goals from inside our half-forward line there quite easily.
I can't, but anyway. Let's go on to this week's games. What we'll do, we'll start with the qualifying final as opposed to the elimination final, because this week's it's Adelaide Lutheran and Hope Valley, and this is going to be somewhat of a unique phenomenon, Russell, that both the two finals played each other last week. I've never seen that happen before. The only difference is this time Adelaide Lutheran host Hope Valley at South Parklands today at 2:15. And I think they'll win. They've had the wood on Hope Valley this year and over the years, and I just think they'll be too strong across the board. Andrews Oval's doing a great job there, and I don't think he'd let this one slip.
Yeah, I think Lutheran will win, and I reckon they'll do it pretty easy today after last week, winning up in Hope Valley, and it's not the easiest place to win up there. They do have a bit of a dungeon there, but I think Adelaide Lutheran, yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. I'm not sure how it's relevant though.
I think Adelaide Lutheran will win by a good 5 goals today, especially if it doesn't rain.
Yeah, look, I think a bit like you guys. I think Hope Valley probably gave it a real good shake last week, and being back at Lutheran today, I can't imagine Adelaide Lutheran, who battled for top spot all year, giving this one away and having to really come the hard way if they drop today. So yeah, I'd be on the Lutheran wagon today, boys.
Ty Allen best on ground today.
Yes, okay, and just to quickly go to a quick... That's what you're listening to, 100.5 FM Saturday Game Day with the coach of Glenunga, Chad Bourke. So he is here to now discuss the elimination final between Glenunga and Kenilworth at Webb Oval. Obviously you'll be hoping a lot of people get down to support Glenunga. All I'm going to say in regards to this one, mate, is I've tipped Kenilworth based on the fact I thought the dimensions of the oval were similar, so I know nothing, but I'll stick with my tip because I know David Green. Your tip, Russell, and then we'll hand over to the man to talk about the game.
I tipped Kenilworth as well, unfortunately. Sorry, Berkey. I just think they got some good on ballers. I think like Christian Leschke, Thomas Manning, Gainey, and Freddie Taylor as well. Yes, he threw Blake Moser through the middle there and up forward, and they're pretty dangerous. I know Glenunga have got some great players as well, and Bourke will go through that in a second. But that's my reasoning behind it. Going in there, I think Blake Moser's going to have a big game. If he doesn't, no Blake Moser, no Kenilworth.
I'll answer him. You can both get stuffed, you two. Now, tell us why you're going to win, Berkey.
Severely outflanked here, lads, obviously. But look, obviously, it's finals footy. I think everyone prepares differently, but at the same time in their own way. I think today, obviously, our lads, we've got close to our best 22 available for the first time in a fair while. Not that means a lot come finals, but just got to get back to the basics today. I mean, I think our oval will be fairly slippery underfoot and fairly greasy, so just simple footy. I think if we play the basics and we play our oval very well, 7-2 during the year is a fairly good record.
It's an excellent record.
Jump the guns early, and like you said, if we can keep your mate Blakey Moser under control, I think he's a fair dynamic of where their score comes from.
Just the first time you met Kenilworth, it was at Kenilworth, wasn't it? So what was the score then?
Yeah, look, round 9 they happened to beat us out there by 7 points. It was a fairly close game. Again, we jumped out the blocks that day, up by 5 goals at quarter time, and they wore us down over the next 3.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, you two are renowned for having tight, tough clashes. I guess I would implore anyone around the Glenunga area, get out and support your local club. And what you're probably going to see a fantastic game of footy, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, look, I think both sides have that same sort of competitive edge, and we've built a really good rivalry over the last couple of years. I think this will be our 6th meeting in 2 seasons. So, yeah, there's some good spirit play between the two sides, and yeah, we know how each other plays fairly well. So, yeah, it should be a close game. I can't see either side winning by more than a couple kicks.
Now, one person that would definitely be listening to this show because, is Coach Matt Damon, Shane Baldock. How important do you think the match-up between yourself and Matt Damon is today?
Look, in round 9 it was probably taken to another level when Mr. Matt Damon pulled on the boots that day and had a run. He wasn't out there long, but yeah, look, it's probably different being a playing coach. I'm not on the sidelines, I'm out in the trenches with the boys a bit more than that sideline tactical battle. But yeah, I think again when it's going to be a close game, that one or two pivotal changes can really affect the game. I'm sure he's got some surprises for me today anyway.
I bet he has. Look, it's been great having you on the show. Is there anyone you'd like to thank, or any final messages to the players even?
Yeah, look, obviously to the footy club, obviously just start off by thanking the Arca Bar and Sabatino Builders. They're our two major sponsors, and obviously all footy clubs rely on sponsors. Without those guys, we probably wouldn't be where we are right now. And to the rest of the footy club, to the volunteers, thanks for all your support during the year, and hopefully we can do the right thing by you today, which is to have a win and progress through to the next round.
Well, we wish you all the best today, mate. Hopefully, for your sake, you're not celebrating Mad Monday on Monday. But if you are, it's not the worst thing in the world to have happen. But obviously, you want to keep going, and you still dream of that premiership in Division 5. It'd be massive for the club.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, boys.
Well, I actually think the winner of this game will get through to a prelim as well after next week.
Is that right? So,
I reckon either one of these teams will knock off.
That's the thing about these middle divisions in SAFL. If you're going to be momentum and start playing some good football, you can go all the way through. So, yeah, bit of hope there for you, mate. And again, all the best today.
No worries. Thanks, boys.
Thank you.